We're at University in York, right across from the Royal York Hotel. And if you look at this glass building right here, this is a landmark for the Chilean refugees. Right here at this spot was an old hotel, and it was the first refugee hotel. It's no longer there, they've destroyed it, they've put this glass building in its place, but right here was where my parents arrived and a lot of the first political exiles. In the first months after the coup, so between September 1973 and January 1974, about 30 to 35 political exiles arrived in Toronto.
So it was a small group?
It was a very small group, yeah. And then in January 1974, to the end of that year, another 150 arrived. And then between 1974, the end of 1974 and 1978 is when about 6,000 came. That was part of an agreement between the Chilean dictatorship, the military dictatorship, and Canada, where Canada was taking all their political prisoners. And my father actually told me a story that they didn't speak a word of English, and they had to warm up my bottle. And they didn't have kitchens in the hotel room, so my dad had to go into Union Station and beg somebody to give him hot water, and he didn't know how to say it.
Well, my name is Juan Carlos Vélez, and I play the role of Fat Jorge. Fat Jorge is the father of. We've just arrived in Vancouver due to the military problems and the political problems that are happening in Chile. And we find ourselves at the Refugee Hotel. Jorge is, I would say, he's a very present man, and the bigness is also as a mask of all the timid and that shyness that he has, and all the problems that he's living within because he's left his country. Now he's in a new place with new customs, new language, new weather. We're paying homage to all the people living in exile, and I mean, my parents, for example, they intellectuals from El Salvador. My dad's a writer, university professor. My mom's a teacher, and they were told by the right-wing government in El Salvador, you either leave or you die. So we're here in Canada, so it's also paying homage and telling their stories worldwide, basically universal stories. I remember after we did the reading, people from Mexico, from Chile, from El Salvador, they're coming up and talk to me, and some of them were crying, some of them were laughing, but they were happy. The one thing this one lady said, we're happy that we're finally seeing ourselves represented within the North American theater. Carmen's written a great story. I'm looking forward to diving in and really dissecting the script and playing.
The reason why I really love her is because she's such a strong woman. And I think generally in the play, like, all the characters are so strong and they're not stereotypes. And that's one of the strengths about the Refugee Hotel. She's a woman that has this awakening about what it means to really give your life to the cause and to give your life for a better life. One of the conflicts between her and her husband is El Gordo, Fat Jorge, is about, you know, that she needs to talk. She needs them to be able to deal with what has happened to the two of them, to their family, to their country, and he is unable to deal with it.
Right.
And although she went through these really hard things, she knows that the only way she can get beyond it is to be able to speak. This is Carmen's story and the story of many people in the Chilean community. So there's a huge responsibility in some ways. You know, these are not invented characters. These are people that we really know, and it's not, you know, this did happen. Latin Americans will be able to identify with that play.
Right.
Completely.
Yeah.
And with who we are, you know, we may be very different. The South, the North, we're all different. But still there's something that, you know, they will see themselves as human beings and not stereotypes on the stage. I think we have some great talent in the community that needs to be nurtured. Experiences like this, a place like this, really open up spaces. And hopefully it open up spaces on the stage, behind the camera, or you know, just like in all levels.